In the demanding and often frustrating realm of cancer research, innovation is crucial. Scientists continually unearth valuable leads in unexpected places during their quest for a cure, such as the arid rocks of the Atacama Desert and the slimy seabeds of the Bahamas. But what if the key to cancer detection lay right within your own home, perhaps even in the seemingly innocuous act of your furry companion chewing on your slippers? Claire Guest possesses a unique insight into these slipper-chewing canines. She has always observed something extraordinary in our four-legged friends that transcends mere fetching and sitting, an intelligence that piqued her fascination and ultimately saved her life. One day, while at the park with her golden retriever, Daisy, an unexpected event occurred. Daisy refused to walk and instead nudged her nose against Claire's chest. Instantly, Claire sensed that something was gravely amiss. As an animal behaviorist, Claire was intimately acquainted with Daisy's normal and abnormal behaviors. Disobeying commands was entirely out of character for the highly trained Daisy, but Claire couldn't fathom the reason until she began experiencing chest pain. To her shock, she discovered a lump on her breast, precisely where Daisy had been persistently nudging her. A subsequent mammogram and biopsy revealed that the lump was a cyst. However, Claire's relief was short-lived when she received a distressing call from her doctor. Claire later recounted, "The first thought that crossed my mind was the anxious look Daisy had given me while nudging my chest. As it turned out, Daisy's anxiety was justified." Further tests confirmed Claire's worst fear, a small tumor deep within her chest wall. Had she not undergone those tests, and had Daisy not persistently nudged her chest, her condition would have gone untreated for years. Claire reached a resolute conclusion during her radiation treatment. Daisy's warning had saved her life. She has been in remission for nearly a decade, and this experience spurred her to transform a personal project into a full-fledged mission for a medical miracle. Claire had always been captivated by dogs, particularly their olfactory prowess. Their sense of smell far surpasses that of humans, and Claire made a life-altering realization. It was Daisy's keen nose that had detected the tumor. With this revelation in mind, Claire co-founded Medical Detection Dogs, a charitable foundation dedicated to training dogs to detect various odors, including those associated with seizures, fluctuating blood sugar levels, and possibly even cancer. Cancer-detecting dogs were not a prominent subject a decade ago, but Claire and other passionate researchers embarked on a quest to fill in the gaps. They hoped to find conclusive evidence, and the results they uncovered surpassed their wildest expectations. A 2004 study revealed that dogs achieved a remarkable 40% success rate in identifying bladder cancer, a stark contrast to the 14% success rate of traditional detection methods. Some dogs could even detect the equivalent of a teaspoon of sugar in 2 Olympic-sized swimming pools. Claire asserted, "What we do know is that this is real." Cancer-detecting dogs were feasible, and it didn't take long for this captivating data to catch the attention of 2 American researchers with a penchant for unconventional projects. Andreas Mershon and Wen-Yi Lee were on a quest for innovative approaches to cancer research, and the data concerning cancer-sniffing dogs immediately captured their interest. Given the scarcity of research in this area, they embarked on their own journey from scratch. Throughout history, humans have harnessed dogs' natural abilities, particularly their olfactory senses, for their benefit. Nevertheless, training dogs to detect potential cancers presented challenges beyond teaching them to identify explosives or drugs. The cost of training dogs to detect cancer, exceeding $25,000, dissuaded many researchers due to the lack of substantial data to support this investment. Thus, the first task involved training dogs to achieve the highest level of accuracy. The second challenge was more intricate. Cancer cells disrupt normal metabolic processes in the body, leading to the production of volatile organic compounds, VOCs, which are either exhaled or excreted in urine. Only specific creatures possess the ability to detect these scents. Training dogs to recognize the scent of VOCs was more challenging than teaching them to detect tangible objects like bombs. This raised an intriguing question: was there a way to eliminate the intermediary, or in this case, the middle dog? What we are striving to comprehend from the dogs is how they interpret the data they collect so we can replicate it, explained Mershon. trained dogs achieved a remarkable 90% accuracy rate in detecting prostate cancer, and Mershon aspired to replicate this feat with his innovative device, aptly named the Nano Nose. Mershon envisions that the Nano Nose will replace costly dogs while rendering cancer detection more affordable, precise, and less invasive. However, bringing this vision to fruition has proven to be a formidable challenge. What we are currently lacking is artificial canine intelligence, Mershon admitted. Presently, his device matches a dog's sensitivity to odors but falls short in identifying the specific cancer scent in individual patients. Nevertheless, hope remains on the horizon. While Mershon focuses on developing artificial dog intelligence, Lee is making significant strides in her own laboratory. Her team has crafted a kit akin to a home pregnancy test, but designed for prostate cancer detection. It is not only innovative and convenient, but most importantly, boasts an impressive level of accuracy. Lee's mantra during this endeavor was, "If dogs can do it, we can do it better." Her kits display a 92% accuracy rate with urine samples, all thanks to the research she conducted on a dog's olfactory system. And to think it all began with Daisy. Mershon eloquently summarized the significance of their collective efforts, stating, "Half of humanity's deaths are due to chronic diseases, and what the dogs are demonstrating is a wholly new approach to understanding systemic diseases." Claire's experience with Daisy's remarkable nose served as a testament to this breakthrough, and she is not the sole beneficiary of this groundbreaking research. Amidst her roles as a Marine and a devoted mother, Stephanie Herfel embodied resilience. Nonetheless, as she bid her son farewell, knowing he was headed overseas with the Air Force, she couldn't help but feel a pang of sadness. Yet, there was a surprise her son had kept hidden until the 11th hour. Stephanie's son had orchestrated a heartfelt gesture to ensure she didn't feel too isolated during his absence. One morning, he entered their California home with an infectious smile, bearing a precious gift. He introduced Stephanie to Sierra, a lively 9-month-old husky. The bond between Stephanie and Sierra deepened rapidly over the years. In 2013, when Stephanie and her husband Jim embarked on a cross-country move to Wisconsin, Sierra adapted to the journey without a single complaint. Deep down, Stephanie always sensed that Sierra was an extraordinary dog. Little did she know just how exceptional Sierra truly was, and this would prove to be a blessing. One afternoon, Stephanie began to experience stomach pain and discomfort. Initially attributing it to a bout of food poisoning, she endured the sensation for several days before deciding to consult her doctor. However, Stephanie's doctor dismissed her concerns, suggesting at worst it might be an ovarian cyst. He prescribed pain medication, believing it would alleviate her discomfort. Upon her return from the doctor's office, Sierra displayed unusual alertness. While not entirely out of the ordinary, Sierra appeared more energized than usual. Stephanie couldn't help but wonder what was going on. Sierra joined Stephanie on the couch and immediately pressed her nose against Stephanie's abdomen. Perplexed, Stephanie attempted to move away, but Sierra persisted in sniffing. In all their years together, Stephanie had never witnessed Sierra behaving in this manner. She considered the possibility that she might have spilled something on her clothing, but before she could investigate, Sierra bolted from the room. Baffled, Stephanie followed Sierra's trail through the house and discovered her nestled in the back of a closet, clearly indicating that something was amiss. Stephanie couldn't help but wonder if Sierra knew something that eluded everyone else. She scheduled another doctor's appointment, and her worst fears were confirmed. Tests revealed advanced stage ovarian cancer. Urgent action was necessary to save Stephanie's life. In addition to chemotherapy, Stephanie underwent a hysterectomy and spleen removal surgery in 2014. These procedures placed a significant strain on the Herfel family, but Sierra remained a faithful companion during Stephanie's recovery. Unsurprisingly, Stephanie made a remarkable recovery, and the following year passed relatively uneventfully, which suited her just fine. She was ready to embark on the next chapter of her life, until Sierra exhibited unusual behavior once again. Just as she had on the day of Stephanie's initial doctor's visit, Sierra intensely smelled her owner's body and then dashed away. Stephanie rushed to the doctor, and once more her cancer had returned. Stephanie endured another round of treatment, and doctors once again granted her a clean bill of health. However, a year later, Sierra's behavior repeated itself, and Stephanie's abdomen was once again the site of a tumor. Treatment, recovery, recurrence, and repeat. As of 2018, Stephanie has remained cancer-free. Leaving behind her hospital bed, she was determined to return to her life and assist others facing similar health challenges. But the question lingered: how did Sierra possess this extraordinary ability? Dr. David Kushner, Stephanie's primary oncologist, proposed a theory. He explained that certain dog breeds could detect chemical traces emitted by tumors with astonishing accuracy, up to 98%, reminiscent of the VOCs in Claire's story. Stephanie and Jim were fortunate to have a canine with this remarkable gift. They decided to share their incredible story with the public, hoping it would aid others who might otherwise remain undiagnosed. Stephanie also became involved with the Wisconsin Ovarian Cancer Alliance, eventually earning a position on the board. Sierra became a local celebrity within the organization. Stephanie concluded, "Just to give the animals credit that they are pretty smart." She had heard stories of other dogs saving human lives, some of which were nearly unbelievable. One such story belonged to Amelia Milling, a determined individual who happened to be deaf. Amelia always embraced challenges and attended the Rochester Institute of Technology in upstate New York, where she continuously pushed herself to the limit. She understood the immense intelligence of dogs. In the summer of 2017, Amelia embarked on a journey through the breathtaking national parks in the western United States, hiking and camping along the way. However, in 2018, she aimed to surpass her previous adventures. On June 19, 2018, Amelia packed her bags, including an emergency tracker device her mother insisted she carry, and set off for Chubut State Park, an expanse of rocky mountains and tranquil rivers about 30 miles east of Anchorage, Alaska. There, she ventured solo along winding mountain trails, an unexpectedly taxing experience for a southerner unaccustomed to June snow. Forced to alter her plans, she descended into the Eagle River Valley on the second day of her trip. Just 4 miles into her hike, disaster struck as her walking stick snapped in two. She tumbled 300 feet, collided with a boulder, and slid another 400 feet down a snowy, gradual slope. Amelia, battered and bleeding, gazed up at the towering mountains, contemplating her impending demise. Her dream vacation seemed to be slipping away. But then she witnessed something that filled her with terror. In the vast and perilous Siberian wilderness, a dramatic story unfolded involving a courageous 4-year-old named Karina Chikitova, her faithful dog Nada, and their incredible survival against the odds. Karina lived in a remote Siberian village within the Sakha Republic, alongside her father, mother, grandmother, and her loyal companion, Nada the dog. Like any curious child, Karina was driven by an insatiable curiosity, a desire to explore, understand, and experience the world. This innate curiosity led her to make a daring decision in July 2014, one that would change the course of her life. Without informing her grandmother, who was responsible for her at the time, Karina quietly followed her father, Rodion, into the Siberian wilderness, also known as the taiga. This decision was fraught with danger for several reasons, foremost among them being the taiga's reputation as an animal kingdom dominated by bears, tigers, and wolves with a penchant for human encounters. Karina's father was completely unaware of her intentions, making her solo expedition into the perilous wilderness even more treacherous. In fact, nobody knew of her venture into one of the world's most dangerous territories except for one companion, Nada, the family dog. Days passed, and Karina followed her father until, somehow, she lost sight of his trail. Alone in the unforgiving Siberian wilderness, with Nada by her side, she faced the menacing presence of bears, wolves, and other wildlife. Her mother, Talina, initially assumed that Karina and Nada had followed Rodion to his native village. Unfortunately, communication in Siberia was scarce, making it impossible for Talina to verify this. She anxiously awaited word from her husband. During those agonizing days, Karina continued to follow her father until she eventually lost his trail entirely. She was stranded in the vast, perilous Siberian wilderness, accompanied only by Nada and surrounded by the ever-present threat of predators. Talina's growing concern led her to believe that Karina and Nada had accompanied Rodion to his native village. However, as time passed with no news from her husband, she grew increasingly anxious. It was only when she learned that her husband was not in his home village that she realized the gravity of the situation. Authorities swiftly dispatched a 100-person rescue team armed with rifles to fend off the abundant bears that roamed the woods. Helicopters scoured the skies, while rescue teams combed the dense forest on foot. Despite their dedicated efforts, days passed without any sign of Karina. The search seemed fruitless until Nada, the loyal family dog, returned home. However, her return failed to provide the relief her family desperately needed. Nada did more than simply return home. She appeared eager to communicate something important. Leading the group of rescuers, she guided them deep into the wilderness, to a place where none of them had seen Karina. Days later, 12 days after Karina had first gone missing, rescue workers discovered a child-sized footprint alongside a dog's paw print on a riverbed. This footprint indicated that Karina was likely barefoot, a critical detail for the search team. With this new information in hand, rescue workers honed in on their search, and the following morning, they struck gold. Just 20 meters from where they began searching, they noticed a lump concealed in tall grass. Rushing over, they discovered Karina. Though she was starving, thirsty, exhausted, and covered in mosquito bites, Karina was miraculously alive. She was given tea before being transported to the nearest hospital, where physicians determined that she would suffer no lasting damage. Remarkably, a psychologist found that her mental state was remarkably stable considering the harrowing ordeal she had endured. Her incredible mental fortitude had sustained her through this traumatic experience. Karina's survival story astonished all who heard it, and the local community erected a statue to honor the indomitable spirit of the young girl and her loyal companion, Nada. This incredible duo proved that courage, determination, and unwavering companionship could overcome even the harshest of circumstances. As Karina continued to grow, she pursued her dreams. By 2018, she attended a ballet boarding school 350 miles away from her village. Her teachers recognized her exceptional talent and believed she had the potential to compete in Russia's highly competitive ballet scene. Throughout her journey, Karina would never forget the friend who made her remarkable survival possible. Nada, the loyal canine who had been with her every step of the way.